Greetings! Mandatory79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Alright then, let's get started. Pressing the A button now.
Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days.
Loading game and proceeding. Here we are, the main menu, going to edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Lyrical Monasterio's Archangel Twin Wings, Alestiel Dual Wings, and I'm going to be using this Lyrical Monasterio's Archangel Twin Wings, Alestiel White Wings D-LBT02 deck as the base of deck I'm going to build. Alright, so first I'm going to copy deck, rename it Alestiel D for Dual Wings, okay, accept. Okay, going to edit deck, entering edit deck, and here we are. And like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building in today's deck profile video is a Lyrical Monasterio's Archangel Twin Wings Alestiel Dual Wings deck made up of cards only available up until D-LBT02. So first, let's go to filter settings, pack, show only cards from D-LBT01 Lyrical Melody and D-LBT02, it's a new school term, apply filter, here we go. So first up, the grade 3 lineup. For the grade 3 this deck we're playing, right deck, grade 3, Archangel Twin Wings, Alestiel, skills for skill, auto as the Vanguard. At the beginning of your main phase, choose a card from your bind zone, put it into your hand, and if you put a card, bind the top card with deck face up. Second skill, continuous, White Wings is a Vanguard. During your turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power and plus 1 critical. Third skill, continuous, Black Wings is a Vanguard. During your turn, all of your opponent's units get minus 5,000 power. And fourth skill, White Wings is active when your bind only has odd grades, and Black Wings when it only has even grades. So for Archangel Twin Wings Alestiel, it's the main grade 3 to run its deck. Its skills, and for skill, at the beginning of your main phase, you can take any card from your bind zone and move it to your hand, and then bind the top card of your deck face up. So for this first skill, it's to go and secure any bind zone cards you wish to return in your hand to use for your later game strategy, and to also give you the chance to activate either White Wings or Black Wings depending on what card was bound by this unit's skill. The second skill, as long as White Wings is active, your Vanguard Alestiel gets plus 5,000 power and plus 1 critical. So for the second skill, as long as you have White Wings active, it will make it easier to pressure your opponent and potentially finish them off with the increased power and critical to your Vanguard. And third skill, at Black Wings, as long as Black Wings is active, during your turn, all of your opponent's units gets minus 5,000 power, both Vanguard and Rearguard included. So for this third skill, like the second skill, as long as you've got the Black Wings active, it'll make it easier for you to pressure or potentially finish off your opponent with the reduced powers of your opponent's units. And so for Archangel Twin Wings Alestiel, we got 4 on the deck, 1 the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the grade 3, Incessant Vocal, Alkel, skills for skill, auto as a rear guard. When your Vanguard is placed, cost, bind this unit. If you cost and pay, draw a card. Second skill, auto, when this card is bound, your card's White Wings and Black Wings are both active until the end of your opponent's next turn. Super Alkel, choose a support card for the Alestiel deck for first skill. While on the rear guard, when your Vanguard is placed, as long as you don't mind binding Alkel from your own rear guard, you can draw a card. So for this first skill, it's a good way to increase your hand by letting you draw a card. But the best part about this first skill, it's compatible with the second skill. For the second skill is, whenever Alkel is bound, you can do your cards, White Wings and Black Wings are both active until the end of your opponent's next turn. So as long as you manage to bind Alkel, you'll be able to use both White Wings and Black Wings abilities until the end of your opponent's next turn. And like I mentioned before, this second skill is compatible with the first skill. For the first skill, make it easier to bind Alkel to activate her second skill to give you either both the Black Wing and White Wing abilities to pressure and finish off your opponent, or to give yourself a better advantage in the fight. And so for Incessant Vocal Alkel, we got 4 on the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the grade 3, Enveloping Compassion, Torkel, not gonna play this card anymore, taking it out. And now for the grade 2 lineup, for the grade 2 this deck we're playing. Right deck, grade 2, Shining as is, Alestiel, skills for skill, auto. When this unit is placed in the Vanguard circle, choose a card from your bind zone, put it in the bottom of your deck. If you put a card, bind the top card of your deck face up. Second skill, action, White Wings is a Vanguard, once per turn, counterblast 1. If you cost and pay, this unit gets plus 1 critical until end of turn. Third skill, continuous, Black Wings is a Vanguard. During the battle this unit attacked, your opponent cannot call trigger units from hand to guard the circle. Fourth skill, White Wings is active when your bind only has odd grades, and Black Wings when it only has even grades. So for Shining as is Alestiel, she's the main grade 2 to bind its deck. Her skill is the first skill. When you write Shining as is Alestiel, you can take any card from your bind zone and move it to the bottom of the deck, and then bind the top card of your deck. So for this first skill, it will give you the chance to activate either White Wings or Black Wings, depending on what card was bound by this first skill. The second skill, as long as White Wings is active, by paying a counterblast of 1, you give your Vanguard Shining as is Alestiel +1 critical. So for the second skill, as long as you've got White Wings active and can pay the cost, you'll make it easier to pressure your opponent early with the increased power, the increased critical to your Vanguard. And the third skill, as long as Black Wings is active, during the battle, your Vanguard Shining as is Alestiel attacks your opponent cannot guard the attack trigger units from their hand. So for this third skill, as long as you've got Black Wings active, you can limit your opponent's defensive options against your Vanguard by making them unable to use trigger units for the guarding of this attack. So for Shining as is Alestiel, we got 1 in the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the grade 2, let's see. Next, we're putting in the grade 2. The grade 2, Heavenly Recital, ML. Skill, auto, Black Wings, activate when bind only has even grades, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit attack while boosted. Choose a card from your soul or rear guard and return it to your hand. If you choose from your soul, put this unit into your soul. So for ML, she's a support card for the Alestiel deck. Her skill, as long as Black Wings is active, at the end of the battle, your rear guard ML attack while boosted, regardless if the attack hits or not. You can choose any card from your soul or rear guard and return it to your hand. If a card was moved from your soul to your hand by the skill, you have to move your rear guard ML to the soul. So for ML, she's a good way to more or less restock your hand with more options for defending or for your next turn by using her skill to return either a soul card or rear guard card back to your hand to use for your next turn. So for Heavenly Recital ML, we're putting 2 into the deck. Okay, next up, we're putting in the grade 2. Next grade 2, we're playing the grade 2 Privilege, Potential, Fanel, Skills for skill, auto. When this unit is placed in the rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard of Alestiel in its card name, Soul Blast 1. If the cost and pay, choose a card from your bind zone, put it into your hand. If you put a card into your hand, choose a card from your hand and bind it. And second skill, auto, Black Wings, active when bind zone only at even grades. Auto as a rear guard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, choose one of your opponent's grade 3 or greater Vanguards, and it gets minus 5,000 power until end of turn. So for Fanel, it's a powerful support card for the Alestiel deck. Its skill, the first skill. When called to the rear guard while your Vanguard is an Alestiel, by paying the cost of Soul Blast 1, you can take any card from your bind zone, return it to your hand, and then take any card from your hand and put it into the bind zone. So for this first skill, as long as you play your cards cleverly and properly, you have the chance to more or less activate either Black Wings or White Wings at your own discretion by making use of this first skill. And the second skill, as long as Black Wings is active, whenever your rear guard Fanel attacks an opponent's Vanguard, by paying the counterblast of 1, your opponent's grade 3 or greater Vanguard gets minus 5,000 power until end of turn. So for this third skill, it's a good way to lay the pressure or potentially finish off your opponent with the decreased power on that opponent's Vanguard. So for Privilege, Potential, Fanel, we're putting 4 into the deck. There we go. Next up, the grade 2. We're putting in the grade 2. Aim for the Horizon, PL. Skill, Continuous, Black Wings, activate when bind only as even grades. Continuous as a rear guard. If you have a Vanguard of Alestiel in its card name, this unit can attack a grade 3 or greater Vanguard from the back row. So for PL, she's a support card for the Alestiel deck. Her skill, as long as Black Wings is active, if your Vanguard is an Alestiel, you can attack your opponent's grade 3 or greater Vanguard of PL from the back row. So for PL, she's going to increase the number of attacks you can make as long as Black Wings is active. And so for Aim for the Horizon, PL, we're putting 4 into the deck. There we go. And next up, the grade 1 lineup. For the grade 1s in this deck, we're playing right deck, grade 1, Indecisive Sky, Alestiel, Skills for skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, bind the top card of your deck. Second skill, Continuous, White Wings to Vanguard. When you would ride from your right deck, you may Soul Blast 1 instead of choose a card from your hand and discard it. Third skill, Continuous, Black Wings to Vanguard. All of your opponent's great 1 or less rear guards cannot attack this unit. For skill, White Wings is active when you bind only its odd grades, and Black Wings when it only its even grades. So for Indecisive Sky Alestiel, it's the main great one to run this deck. Its skill, the first skill, when you ride Alestiel on the Vanguard circle, you can bind the top card of your deck. So for this first skill, it's a more or less a good way to combo the second and third skills. Depending on what card was bound by this skill, you can activate either White Wings or Black Wings. The second skill, as long as White Wings is active, when it's time to ride from your right deck, you may choose to Soul Blast one instead of discarding a card from your hand. So for the second skill, with White Wings active, you can more or less preserve your hand by choosing to Soul Blast one card instead of discarding one for the right deck cost. And the second skill, Black Wings, continuous. All of your opponent's Great 1 or less rear guards cannot attack this unit, so as long as you've got Black Wings active, your opponent cannot pressure you with damage early by not being able to attack you with any of their own Great 1 rear guards. So for the second skill, it's a very powerful defensive skill. And so for the Great 1 Indecisive Sky Alestiel, we got one the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Great 1 Wings of Rainbow Glow Eremiel, skill, auto, White Wings, activate and bind only its odd grades. Auto, when this unit is placed in the rear guard circle, when your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost, counterblast 1. If the cost and page, choose one of your rear guards. For every 3 of your units with odd grades, and you get plus 5,000 power plus 1 critical at a turn, you cannot choose the same unit twice. So for Eremiel, she's a support card for the Alestiel deck. Her skill, as long as White Wings is active, when you call Eremiel to the rear guard, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, by paying a cost of counterblast 1, you can choose one of your rear guards for every 3 odd grades in your field, and the chosen unit gets 5,000 power plus 1 critical at the end of turn. So for Eremiel, as long as you got the necessary cards, it's possible to pressure or finish off your opponent with the increased power and critical to your rear guard. So for Wings of Rainbow Glow Eremiel, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Great 1 Cloudless Heart Yell, not going to play this card anymore, taking it out. The Great 1, Unwelcoming and Private D-LBT02, Sentinel, Perfect Guard, skills per skill, Continuous Sentinel. Second skill, auto, when this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units. It cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 more cards, choose the card from hand, discard it. Super D-LBT02, she's a perfect guard for the Lyrical Monasterio Nation. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard training card game, she features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discarding a card from her hand, you can block one enemy attack. But she also features an ability unique to all D standard format perfect guards. When used to guard with while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making D-LBT02 a potential no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. So for Unwelcoming and Private D-LBT02, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Great 1 Happiness Distribution Danielle, not gonna play this card anymore, taking it out. And the Great 1 Spokesperson of Heavenly Voice, Archangel, skill, auto, White Wings, activate when bind only its odd grades. Auto, when this unit is placed in the rear guard circle from hand during your main phase. Cost, counterblast 1. If the cost is paid, choose a card with the White Wings ability, not named Spokesperson of Heavenly Voice, Archangel, from your drop and call to an open rear guard circle. So for Archangel, she's a support card for the Alestiel deck. Her skill, as long as White Wings is active, when you call her onto the rear guard from your hand during your main phase, by paying the cost of counterblast 1, you can take any White Wings ability card from your drop zone, not named Archangel, and call to the rear guard circle. Super Archangel, as long as White Wings is active, she's a good way to fill out your rear guards with potential attackers or boosters or skills that will help you in your later game strategy. And so for Spokesperson Heavenly Voice Archangel, we got 3 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Great 1. We're putting in the Great 1. The Great 1 Little Piece per L, skill, continuous. White Wings, active when bind only as odd grades. From the rear guard or Guardian Circle, this unit gets plus 2,000 power and plus 5,000 shield. So for Priel, she's another support card for the Alestiel deck. Her skill, as long as White Wings is active, your Priel can serve as a potential 10,000 point rear guard or a 10,000 point shield. So for Little Piece Priel, we're putting 2 into the deck, okay? And now for the Grade 0 lineup. For the Grade 0 to this deck, we're playing right deck, Grade 0, Monochrome Personality, Alestiel, skill, auto. When this unit is rolled upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Monochrome Personality, Alestiel, she's the starter unit in this deck. Her skill, when we're on top of, you went second, draw a card. So for Monochrome Personality, Alestiel, we got 1 in the right deck, leaving it that way. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck, we're playing Grade 0, Precious Tune, at which critical trigger, skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So for Edwidge, she's a powerful critical trigger to play in your Lyrical Monasterio decks. For skill, after boosting attack, regardless if the attack hits or not, as long as you don't mind moving Edwidge from your rear guard into your soul, you can choose one unit in your field, Vanguard or rear guard, and give it plus 2,000 power. So for Edwidge, she's a good way to not only restock your soul for later soul blast, but to also give the remaining attackers in the field a little extra power to work with. So for Precious Tune and Witch, we got 4 in the deck, leaving that way. Next up, the Grade 0, Wings Dancing the Blue Skies, Antia, critical trigger. We got 3 in the deck, adding 1, playing 4. Next up, the Grade 0, Transparent, Snowy Knight, Baratoy, draw trigger, skill, continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. Super Baratoy, she's a powerful draw trigger to play in your Lyrical Monasterio decks. For skill, when used to guard with while your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, she gets plus 5,000 shield, making Baratoy a potential 10,000 point shield on her own. So for Transparent, Snowy Knight, Baratoy, we got 4 in the deck, taking 1 out, only playing 3. Next up, the Grade 0, Soft Light, Cruel, heal trigger. We got 4 in the deck, leaving that way. And last but not least, the Grade 0, Blessing Diva, Griselle, over trigger, skill, trigger, additional effect. During this fight, you get during your turn, all of your rear guards gets 10,000 power. So for Griselle, she's a over trigger for the Lyrical Monasterio Nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, she features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card, but she also features a skill that's unique to her. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, for the remainder of the fight, all of your rear guards during your turn get plus 10,000 power. So for Griselle, she's an over trigger that's best used the earlier you reveal it in a fight during your turn in a drive check. For if you're fortunate enough to reveal it early during a drive check on your turn, for the remainder of the fight, all of your rear guards get plus 10,000 power on your turn. So for this over trigger skill, it's going to make it easier to pressure or finish off your opponent with the continuous plus 10,000 power to all of your rear guards. So for Blessing Diva, Griselle, we got 1 in the deck, leaving that way. And if that, the deck's been built, cards explained, so saving the deck, over deck being built, yes. And for the cards in this deck, we're playing 4, Grade 3, Archangel, Twin Wings, Alestiel. 4, Grade 3, Incessant Vocal, Alkel. 1, Grade 2, Shining Ziv, Alestiel. 2, Grade 2, Heavenly Recital, Amel. 4, Grade 2, Privileged Potential, Fennel. 4, Grade 2, Aim for the Horizon, PL. 4, Grade 1, Wings of Rainbow Glow, Aremiel. 4, Grade 1, Unwelcoming in Private, Daziel. 1, Grade 1, Indecisive Sky, Alestiel. 2, Grade 1, Little Peace, Prael. 3, Grade 1, Spokesperson of Heavenly Voice, Archangel. 1, Grade 0, Monochronic Personality, Alestiel, starting unit. And for the triggers of this deck, we're playing 8 critical triggers, 3 draw triggers, 4 heal triggers, and 1 over trigger, Griselle. Alright, deck's been built, cards explained. So now it's time to test out the deck. So leaving the edit deck menu, return to main menu, going to fight menu, selecting CPU fight, and selecting the deck I just built, the Lyrical Monasterios, Archangel, Twin Wings, Alestiel, Dual Wings, D-LBT02 deck. 02 deck, okay, then selecting deck, and selecting the opponent. Okay, who would be a good opponent to test it out on? Let's see. I guess I'll use it against, I'll use it on Tatsuki Bunkyo, normal difficulty. And the battle begins. Let's get started. And here we are, the fight. Gonna decide who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors, scissors, one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper to rock, I win, going first. Drawing our starting hands, I got Knights, I got an Alkel, Critical Trigger, PL, and 2 Aramels, okay. Gotta hold on to Alkel to make use of its skill, as well as PL for an extra attacking, and the Aramel for adding power and critical, so I'll just withdraw the critical and the second copy of ML in my hand, withdraw, another Alkel and a critical, okay. I'm going first, I draw, I ride from the right deck, Indecisive Sky, Alestiel, okay. I gotta hold on to Alkel for attacking and for using its second skill, and the Grade 2 PL and the Grade 1 Aramel for the skills as well as the Fennel skill, which will let me add Alkel to my bind zone, so I guess I'll just discard the critical trigger for the cost. Right, the Grade 1, Indecisive Sky, Alestiel skill, bind the top card of my deck. It is a Grade 0, Black Wings. Black Wings active. My opponent cannot attack my Vanguard. Grade 1 unless regards. Okay, that's all I can do. So end of turn. Now it's my opponent's turn. My opponent's going to ride the Grade 1 in the calm streets. Chaos. He's starting start a skill. He draws a card. Okay. He's going to the battle phase. Vanguard to Vanguard. No guard. Take the attack. No guard. Here it comes. No trigger. Okay. 1 damage to me. Ow. Damage check. Critical trigger. I wasted a trigger. No. Trigger effect wasted. Power and critical wasted. Okay, then it's the end of my opponent's turn. It's my turn. I draw. Alright, I ride from the right deck. Shining as is. Alestiel for the right deck cause. I'm discarding. Let's see. I gotta hold on to Alkel for attacking, as well as the Grade 2 PL, so I gotta hold on to the heal trigger for guarding and the Grade 2 Fennel to add Alkel to my bind zone, so I'll just discard the second copy of Alkel in my hand to ride. Shining, this is Alestiel skill. Move a card from my bind zone to the bottom of the deck, bind the top card of my deck. White Wings active, nice. I activate my Vanguard skill, I counterblast 1, +1 critical to the Vanguard. There we go. There we go, critical added. Next, I call to the rear guard, aim for the horizon, KL, and Wings of Rainbow Glow ML to the rear guard, call. That should be enough. Go into battle phase. First up, my KL attacks the Vanguard, 10k. The attack goes through, and Light Wings down, boom, 1 damage to my opponent, damage check. Ah, no, draw trigger, come on! Of all the rotten timing, he has power and draws a card, boosted by Aramiel, my Vanguard. Alestiel attacks the Vanguard, 18k to 18k, 2 criticals. My opponent is in guard, drive check, no trigger, okay. So 2 damage to my opponent, Light Wings down, boom, 2 damage, first. No, heal trigger, oh, come on. He heals 1 damage, adds power, and second check. Yes, critical trigger, he wasted a trigger. Trigger effects wasted. Alright, that's the end of my turn, my opponent's turn. My opponent's going to ride the Grade 2, Quagmire of Solace, Chaos is skill. He reveals a perfect guard in Spartan, okay? And he's calling to the rear guard, Spartan skill, he soul charges. He soul charge, a heal trigger, and a expeller, okay? Rear guard to Vanguard. Alright, I only have 1 card to guard with, so I guess I'll let the first 2 attacks go through and conserve my hand to block the remaining attacks, so no guard, take the hit. Ow! Damage check. Yes! Critical trigger, just what I needed. I give all effects to my Vanguard. There we go, effects added. Now my opponent's going for Vanguard on Vanguard, 10k, 20k, 1 trigger to pass, no guard. My opponent drive checks. Yes, no trigger, the attack does not go through. Safe. Now Expeller attacks my rear guard. I guard if the... Let's see. Okay, for the White Wings cards in my drop zone, I don't have any white wings in my drop zone, then okay, I think I know what to do. I'll just protect my rear guard PL with the heal trigger, Truel, guard, the attack is blocked, I survived. Alright, that should be the end of my opponent's turn. It's my turn, I stand and draw. I drew a critical, okay, I ride from the right deck. Archangel, Twin Wings, Alestiel. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding a... Okay, it's too soon to activate my unit skills, so I guess I'll just discard one critical from my hand to preserve my hand. Ride the Grade 3, Archangel, Twin Wings, Alestiel. Alestiel skill. I take one card from the bind zone and add to hand. I'm adding the Grade 1 to my hand. Bind top card, heal trigger, Black Wings, okay. Next, I'm going to... tough choice, tough choice. I call... Hold on, nope. Nope, I don't have enough, so I'm just gonna go straight to the... Nope, I'm gonna call... Nope, I don't have Wet Wings active. This is a tough choice. I just go straight to the battle phase, I guess. So, first, my rear guard PL attacks the rear guard Expeller, 10k. The attack goes through, boom, one rear guard down. Now boosted by Aramel, my Vanguard Alestiel attacks the Vanguard, 21k. The attack goes through, Twin Drive, first check. Yes, draw trigger, just what I needed. I draw a card, add power to Vanguard, and second check. No trigger, okay. So 1 damage to my opponent, light rings down. The light is raining down, and boom! 1 damage! Damage check. No trigger, okay. That's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. My opponent's gonna ride the Grade 3. Approaching Fangs, Chaos. Skill of the Grade 2. He's soul charging a heal trigger, nice. He's activating his skill, okay, he calls the Grade 2, Piercing Assistant, Vanguard the Vanguard, skill of his Vanguard, he's going to give power to the rear guard, okay. Alright, I'm gonna let the Vanguard go through and conserve my hand to block the rear guard, so no guard, take the hit. My opponent Twin Drives, first check, no trigger, safe, and second check. No trigger, safe, okay, 1 damage to me. Here it comes. Ow! Damage check. No trigger. Now here comes the attack from the rear guard. Nope, gotta protect my rear guard. I guard with the draw trigger, Baratoi. Protecting my rear guard PL, 15k. 20k, the attack is blocked. My rear guard survived. Now coming in attack with the rear guard, 20k. Okay, I can't afford to take too much damage early, so I'm gonna guard with Precious Tune at Wish, critical trigger, 28k, guard. The attack is blocked, I'm safe. Alright, that's the end of my opponent's turn. It's my turn. Stand and draw. Skipping to main phase. Alestiel skill. Take a card from my bind zone, move it to hand. I've taken the heal trigger to my hand and bind the top card of my deck. Grade 2, Black Wings active, okay. Next, I'm going to call to the rear guard. Tough choice. Okay. I'm going to move my PL to the back row and call to the front row. I call to the front row. What should I call? The cards in my drop zone, I got mostly triggers and an Alcal. I don't have any white wings to call, okay? Then, okay, I think I'm first going to call to the rear guard, Panel, call over here, Panel skill, I Soul Blast 1, Soul Blasting 1, and activate. I take 1 card from the bind zone, move to hand. I take 1 card from hand and move to the bind zone. I move Incessant Alcal to the bind zone. Skill activate. Both White Wings and Black Wings are active until the end of my opponent's next turn. There we go. Next, I'm going to call to the rear guard. Spokesperson of Heavenly Voice, Archangel, over the Great One on my field. There, Aramel. Alright, I'm calling Archangel over Aramel. Call. Archangel skill. I counterblast 1. And Superior Call any White Wings card from my drop zone. I take Aramel, call, and okay, the odd grades I have 1, 2, 3. Nope, not enough. Okay. For the back row, I'm calling ML. Okay, then. Okay, nope, not gonna use Aramel's skill yet, so not activating. I'm gonna call to the rear guard, ML. There we go, that should be enough. So, alright, I think my field is all set up. Going to the battle phase. First up, my rear guard, Penel, attacks the Vanguard. Skill activated, I counterblast 1 and reduce my opponent's Vanguard by 5,000 power. My opponent's down 3,000 power. The attack goes through, and boom, 1 damage. Damage check. Ah, no, come on! Critical trigger at this timing? Ah. To get a trigger at this timing? Now my back row PL can't attack. Fine then. Boosted by Archangel, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard. 26k, 2 criticals. My opponent perfect guards. He discards for the cost He discards a grade 2 magician. Okay, twin drive, first check, perfect guard, not bad. Second check, come on, the trigger. Ow, no trigger, come on. Alright, the attack is blocked. And next up, my boosted by Aramel. ML attacks the Vanguard, 18k. The attack goes through, light rains down, boom, 1 damage, damage check. Yes, critical trigger, he wasted a trigger. Trigger effects wasted. There we go, and next, I activate ML skill. I take 1 card from Soul or Rear Guard to return the hand. I'm returning from my Rear Guard, Aramel, back to my hand. There we go. That's all I can do, so end of turn. Now my opponent's turn. He's Persona riding, not good. He rides Chaos. And now he's activating Chaos' skill. He's going to draw and call Flaming Pony. Okay, Vanguard to Vanguard. Vanguard skill. He's going to give power to his rear guards. Okay. Tough choice. Okay, I think I'm gonna block. I have 2 perfect guards, so I get 4 to block the Vanguard, and then let the rear guards go through. Let's see how it goes. I perfect guard, and for the perfect guard cost, I'm gonna discard. I discard from my hand. ML, perfect guard, twin drive, first check, no trigger, grade 3, safe, and second check. Ah, no, heal trigger, come on! How does he keep getting lucky of all the triggers? He heals 1, power to rear guard, attack is blocked. Next up, alright, rear guard to Vanguard, 58k, no guard, take the hit. Ow! Damage check. Yes, over trigger. I draw a card and I give power to the rear guard Fennel. And rear guard to Vanguard, 30k, no guard, take the hit. Ow! Damage check. No trigger, okay. Then that's the end of my opponent's turn. My turn, stand and draw, okay. Then I'm going to skip to the main phase. Alestiel skill, I take a card from my bind zone, move it to hand. Taking Alkel back, bind the top card. Ah, critical trigger, come on. Fine, then I'm going to call to the rear guard. Fennel skill. I'm going to Soul Blast 1 and take 1 card from the bind zone back to hand. And one hand card to the bind zone, moving Alestiel to the bind zone. Alestiel skill active. White wings and black wings activated. Okay, next I'm gonna call Aramel to the rear guard. Call. Alright, that should be enough. Not gonna activate its skill. Next, going to battle phase. First up, my rear guard, Fennel, attacks the Vanguard. Skill activated. I Powder Blast 1. Minus the opponent's Vanguard by 5,000. He guards with a heal trigger. Okay, attack blocked. Okay, then next boosted by Archangel. My Vanguard Alestiel attacks the Vanguard, 26k, 2 criticals. My opponent, perfect guards, not good. He discards for the perfect guard cost a grade 2 assistant, twin drive, first check, Alestiel, and second check. Perfect guard, not bad, okay. The attack is blocked. Now from the back row, PL attacks the Vanguard, 10k. He guards for critical, okay. Attack blocked. Now boosted by Aramiel, and Male attacks the Vanguard, 18k. The attack goes through, light rains down, boom, 1 damage, damage check. Yes, 1 less card to Persona right with. Now activate Amiel's skill. I take 1 card from my rear guard or soul to return to the hand. I take from the rear guard, Penel, back to hand. That should be enough. My opponent's turn. No, not another Persona, right? Come on! He has power. Skill of Chaos. He's counterblasting. Okay, he's running out of cards. Gangnam skill. He only has 3 cards left. Vanguard to Vanguard. Skill of Chaos. He gives power to its rear guards. Okay. I perfect guard. And for the perfect guard cost, I'm gonna discard. I'll discard the draw trigger Baratoi. Discard. He twin drives, first check. No! Over trigger, come on! Okay, he got 1 card left in deck. Second check. Ah, okay, deck out. Automatic win. Huh, okay. That fight didn't go too bad. I managed to successfully activate both wings during this fight multiple turns, so I got win, perfect guarded, drew an over trigger, opponent drew an over trigger, 8 turns passed, did a superior call, retired 5 more opposing units, and bound 5 or more cards, got 2600 BP, total 39,175 BP, press A to go next, leaving the fight, return to fight menu, back to the fight menu, going back to main menu, back to the main menu to edit deck menu. And with that, the deck's been built, card is explained, and I just finished his other deck in front of you, and so that's just about all the time we have for today. First up, I want to say thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that, I say goodbye, and see you all soon.